What's good, y'all? It's K Stu the GOAT, Stuart V for Venom Sports. And once again, Justin Fields has actually crossed my desk. Last week I talked about some of the reasons why I thought he didn't get a lot of playing time. A lot of that had to do, in my opinion, with work ethic. I don't think he won over his teammates. And obviously, you have a five-star quarterback in Jake Fromm who led Georgia to the national championship just a year ago. So, I mean, he was going to have to do a lot of work to win that team over. And that's the thing. I think Justin Fields was kind of looking at that thing and like, you know what, I can size this Jake Fromm dude up and I can get in this thing and I can really take over. But nothing could have been further from the truth for Justin Fields. Fields was actually the number one recruit in the 2018 ESPN 300. And at this point, he's trying to figure it out. Like, do I transfer or do I stay? Well, a couple of things are going against Justin Fields' favor. First of all, you have a guy, Jake Fromm, who is not even appearing from a perceptual standpoint that he's trying to give that starting position up. He is there. He is going to compete, and he is going to keep his starting job until he decides to go to the NFL. Doesn't look like, obviously, he's going to declare for the NFL just yet. The earliest that he may declare is next year, and that's a whole nother year of Justin Fields sitting on the bench. You know, I just thought it was kind of crazy even when I was looking at his recruitment for Georgia. I'm like, what are they going to do with him? Traditionally, Georgia does not predicate towards a legitimate dual threat quarterback, which Justin Fields is. And another thing, I had to question the work ethic. When I look at something like this, you're a top five recruit. You're obviously going up against a five-star recruit who's already in-house, who's already led their team to a national championship appearance. One play, obviously, in overtime away from being the national champions. And I just don't understand what Justin Fields thought. I would love to be a fly on the wall to just hear the conversation that took place between Justin Fields and Kirby Smart as to why bring a kid here who you already have a guy who's solid. You got a guy like Justin Fields who's going to be looking to play immediately. Now, here's the kicker. He hasn't quite decided to transfer yet. This is all speculation at this point. But when I look at this thing, I got to think about the prospect of, Justin Fields is going to have to get his work ethic game up. Because from all the buzz that I'm hearing around the practice field and different sources that I know that are kind of sort of connected with the program, he hasn't won anybody over. His work ethic, I'm not going to say it sucks, but it's not on the level of Jake Fromm to where... Now, y'all seen this before. Say, for instance, like in Alabama with Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts. The players were buzzing, man, put Tua in the game. I know that I can eat if Tua's in the game. Not nothing against, terribly against Jalen Hurts. But the players felt that with Tua Tagovailoa in the game, that he would accentuate, what Alabama could do as an offense. And it proved to be just the case as Tua Tagovailoa really made a strong push towards the Heisman Trophy. Now, thinking about, Justin Fields, though, I have some problems with this young man. I just feel like the leadership is not there. I feel like, so many players are taking advantage, and I guess maybe it could work in their favor, or are taking advantage of these transfer rules, these red shirt rules, and it's just, leading to going back to the source. The source is the best man plays on the field. Don't hide behind the stipulations and the speculations and the different rules now that are in place to hide the fact that you just didn't work hard enough. You know what I'm saying? I just don't, he just didn't work hard enough. I think he's probably a phenomenal athlete. I just don't know on the college level because every time I've seen him go in there, it's, somewhat underachievement. He, does a little mop-up duty here and there. And, it's just not, those things are just not working out for him. So far this year, he's completed 27 passes out of 39 for 328 yards with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions in 12 games, and notably probably was a part of one of the worst plays in Georgia history, which was a fake punt late in the game against Alabama, where, oh man, it's just tragic to put a kid in that position to where their legacy is going to forever be tainted by a play like that. You know, one of the things I'm interested in is where does Justin Fields go? If he decides to transfer, I mean, he's well within his right. And where does he go? And another question is, does he play immediately? As of now, it's looking like if he does decide to transfer, he'll have to sit out a year. I think that will be the biggest Achilles heel in this situation is, he'll have to sit out, And the thing with this is, from what I understand, Justin Fields is trying to obtain what they call a hardship waiver, which means that he would have to sit out the 2019 season under the transfer rule. But he's actually trying to go with another loophole. Apparently, back in, I think against Tennessee, some racial slurs were kind of shifted his way, which could give precedence to the fact that, well, maybe he could play that card and say, well, I felt like I'm not in a safe environment. Now, there is a clause in the NCAA that says if you feel that, then, you may be able to play immediately. So, once again, like I said before, I wish this young man, Justin Fields, all the blessings and prosperity in the world, because I think he's well within the realm of achieving that. However, I think that work ethic really has to be in place in order for him to take advantage of all the opportunities that he's going to have in his life, and jumping ship, just because things get a little tough. I'm just not a big fan of that. But if he feels that, transferring could be, the best thing for him and his situation and his future, by all means, I wish the man the greatest of luck. He has yet to prove on the field that he is, standing up to the number one recruit in the country last year. He's not standing up to that hype at this point. And it goes back to Nick Saban and the rat poison. You know what I'm saying? We got to be careful about this whole rat poison concept, to where we start to get so many complimentary things during our recruiting trails, and even our personal life. We get all these compliments, which means the work stops. And I think that's a very tragic thing, especially to implement with our young people. And hopefully, long term, Justin Fields will learn from this and learn that you got to go in the weight room, you got to work, you got to learn the playbook. You have to be a student of the football game that you're playing. Be the best that you can be a student of the game, and just don't get outworked. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You got outworked. You got outflanked. You got out everything in this situation. Jake Fromm wanted it more than you. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT, Stuart V for Venom Sports, and we will have some videos coming soon. Best wishes to the Georgia Bulldogs as they take on Texas in the All-State Sugar Bowl. SEC fan for life. Once again, it's K-Stu the GOAT, Stuart V for Venom Sports. You all have an incredible evening. Man, the weather was nice today. Hopefully it's like that tomorrow. Take care.